Hola tribe, welcome to the House of Kai. So today we'll do our medicine oracle read. It's interesting, as I said the House of Kai, I immediately wanted to explain what that is. Many of you know that I go by Kai or Kaidim. And when I think of the House of Kai, I mean, yes, I'm in my house, right? Yet I think of the house being the body. And so Kai is the soul within the body. And so the House of Kai is an acknowledgement of the body and that I am within it. And so I look at each human being as being within their temple or their home. And, or with any luck or hope that they are. Many beings do not reside within their bodies. They are very etheric. They don't live inside of the body. Very disconnected. How often I have witnessed people who are literally like their limbs are not even connected to them. They don't know. They look like those, like at a car dealership, you see those like big air things moving side to side. That's what they remind me of when they move and walk. And then you have others that carry around their temple, right? They act as if their temple is a chore. I don't believe they think that's what they're showing. However, that's what it appears like to me, that carrying around the body is effort. And I guess needs to be acknowledged that way. They make it very pronounced that they're carrying their bodies around. And I think they think that they look good doing it. And some of them do. Some of them have great definition and shape. But they're not at ease within the body. And then you have others who have beautiful definition and shape, and they're very at ease in their body, right? And the House of Kai. So it is being present with the soul that is within the framework of the body. And my method of educating and my method of, functional therapy and breath work and all forms of medicine, that's what I guess I would say to you, is that no matter what title or description that I am offering, my medicine is to bring your soul even more into your being and expand it. Excuse me. I had a woman recently say to me, I was stretching her. And she had been to other people, and she says to me, she goes, I know what to expect from them. And she goes, but when I work with you, you stretch my soul. She goes, you're not just stretching my body. Such a gift to be seen. And such a gift that another human being experiences the work as I have intended for it to be. So, know that our souls are meant to expand within this temple, right? We have the ability to own and breathe every aspect of it. The brain is so powerful, and we use it on things that are just unnecessary most of the time. Imagine when we use it towards that which can heal us or that which can change the body, right? And forgive me, I know I am just as guilty as any other human being for having slacked off or not known the medicine at the time, right? I had to grow to discover how this all worked, and I did it, within my own. That's why it's the House of Kai, right? That's why it's like so important to me to explain it to people, because I've earned this right. Like, my soul has earned the right to reside inside of here. Sadly, I hadn't cared for my body, my temple, in my youth. And I didn't know any better. And I can honestly say that it was my only way of protecting it, right? From the world and chaos around that I chose to be born into. I truly do believe that I chose the family, and that my soul knew that family would grow up in a tough area, and my soul chose that journey for a reason. I do not deny any of it. And for the most part, I'm at pretty much peace with all of that. I still have stuff. I have seriously yoked this body. I have yoked it, but I can honestly say I've not yoked it to the purest. I know this. And so, knowing that there's always more work, right? So, and it leads me to go, how much have you yoked, right? And do you know the tools? How to yoke the body? The word yoga means to yoke, right? That's what it means, is to yoke. And that is to get all the essence out of it, right? All of it out of it. And it's not just needed through yoga. And I can honestly say that there are plenty of people practicing yoga that are doing it, in a very superficial manner. They're not truly getting the depths of what yoga or the yoking is intended or meant to be. And again, I don't choose to judge. It's just an awareness that you can see how the soul moves through the physical body. And if it's moving through the body from a place of conscious awareness, then there's a true yoking that takes place. And there are many people that just push, pull, and they muscle through it, or they, the opposite really, like they just drop out of it. They don't do the true connection, or they only connect in certain pieces. They don't realize the true essence and building blocks of the whole entire body, right? So why is the house so important? Because it carries a vibration. Every cell in your body is a vibration, and some of the cells are joyous and dancing and having a good time, and some of the cells are pretty pissed off, and they're like, that's what I think about you, and that's what I think about you, and that's what I think about you, and right? So can you identify and hear the vibrations of your body? So, I thought this was an oracle read. It might be an oracle read. We'll find out. The cards are in hand. But I'm laughing now because I taught a class earlier today. I'm going to bring it back. I taught a yoga class earlier today. And I've consistently, every night, it's Tuesday right now for me, so every Tuesday night I've consistently had the same couple clients, and I didn't notice a pattern of one shows up a little bit later than the other, or however that worked, but it did turn into that. But there was a person in the class that has consistently, week after week after week, since I started teaching at this place, every time I asked them, I said, well, how's your body? Fine. Okay. Well, what's going on? I don't know. Okay. So, if you're one of those people, know that that's, I don't want to say not okay, but on some level that's not okay. That's an extreme disconnect. And it is not only just a disconnect, it's a lot of ego. It's a lot of ego. And this person may not think that that's how they're showing up, but it is. It is. And so consistently, you know, I don't know. I'm fine. And so of course you want to ask them, why are you here? You know, and so sometimes I have, and you know, to stretch, to do yoga. You just do. Okay. And so week after week I've taught different stuff, and today something just clicked for me. And as they were sitting there, she says, I don't know, I'm fine. And what this person doesn't realize is they're dramatically disconnected from their bodies. I mean, dramatically disconnected from their bodies. Very segmented. She doesn't connect to her whole body as a whole body. It's piecemealed, right? And not the worst piecemealed I've ever seen, but definitely piecemealed. And so this week she says it to me, and I said, oh, okay. You're fine. You have nothing going on. And I said, so well, let's bring your awareness into your body. If you don't know what's going on, if you said you're fine and you don't know what's going on in your body, let's bring awareness to that. We're going to do breath work. And she just kind of looked at me, and you could tell it was like not what she expected. And I said, well, the true essence and meaning of yoga is so that we can sit and meditate. The true essence of yoga is to do all of these moves so that you can sit comfortably and breathe. So that you can hear all those vibrations, discords, connections within the body. You've often heard me say that we are like a wind chime, right? Just every time we breathe, whatever the vibration is of our breath is the same vibration we give to the world, right? And so I'm really working on balancing mine out. You know, it's a process. So I made them breathe for like 20 minutes. And I guided them through, and she got through it. She got through it. You could tell the first 5 minutes she was not a happy camper. And she tried to run from it frequently until it was there's nowhere to run. You don't register your body. You don't offer me or acknowledge the signs and symptoms of what's going on in your body, then I must bring attention to it for you. The gift is that after we finished breathing, and I just had them breathe a natural breath rather than a breath that I guided them through, the realization of how much better their breathing pattern was and how much more ease she had in her body as well as the others. So it was a gift. It was a gift all the way around. I'm hoping she learned that lesson with me. It was quite hysterical. I'm getting better at providing the medicine that is required in every moment. And the old version of me would have immediately connected to this is a paycheck, right? That you must behave in a certain way because there is an exchange of finances on the line. And for me, my ego gets into a place of, it's not about making or not making the money. It's about providing a service that they think they're supposed to be getting, right? And so even in my, my private work, everything else, you can get caught up in this, I'm supposed to do X, Y, and Z, or I'm supposed to create X, Y, and Z for this person, rather than fully being present and giving them the medicine they need. And I've gotten a lot better with that. In my private work, I find it so much easier because they've hired me individually. If they don't like how the session's going, they can leave. I don't mind being blunt as well as nurturing, meeting my clients exactly where they are and going from there. And usually those that work with me, we break down the layers together. They enjoy the level of vulnerability. They enjoy the humor and the coaching and the guidance. And it's just so lovely. It's just so, sometimes I'm a lot for people, I know, but I do my best to meet the spirit where it is. Now, in a group environment where I'm working for someone else, I can sometimes meet it with fear and think like, well, shoot, if I don't provide this service exactly the way they're expecting it, then it's not going to look good for the company. And then, will that impact my job or my role there, or, all of that good stuff. And so I'm learning more and more. I've been in business for myself for about 20 years now, and only in the last 5 years, really in the last 3, maybe 4, but really 3 years, having worked with other facilities to provide the income. And so, you're trying to fit yourself into something that, when you've worked for yourself for so long and you have a style, trying to fit your style into another world. And I'm realizing more and more that I don't need to fit in. And that they actually enjoy it when I work out of these other facilities. They actually kind of like that I'm bringing my own personal flair and flavor to it. I've found some really amazing places that I can really get into what I do and help people. I don't have to fit inside of their little confines of a box. And so again, I it's funny, I'm sitting here after as I'm saying this, I went, where did this all come from, right? I just ran on a tangent. And so what I will say to all of that is that, right, this is a box. If you think about it, the temple, it's a space, and it's a gooey, sticky, arch-shaped, all diaphragmatic arch-shaped, right? Even a little arch shape here. Not as much anymore to here, but definitely over there. There's all sorts of arches on the body, and you have it right here, right? So this is the beautiful diaphragmatic shapes of the body, the archways that the soul and temple live in. And so think about it this way, right? If this is the structure of the temple, right? When I'm trying to think of like a lighting system that I can, like, strip lights, like those like strands of lights, not necessarily individual little lights like Christmas lights or anything, but ones that are already in a tube. And I this little light that I have that does those weird things up here, it's kind of like that. So it's probably a bunch of individual lights that are contained that create a design or a continuous energetic field, right? Oops, really sorry. So with that being said, that is similar to what I believe we are, right? So when you run your energy through something like this, when you run your energy properly through the grid, the structure of your body, you just light up differently. Your temple glows. And it's pretty amazing. It is pretty amazing. I have been really blown away by how this medicine has been changing people's lives, their bodies, their mind, expanding them. And this one person I've been working with that I know she's had cocktails in her life, but she's never gotten high, right? I know this, And as I tell her, I'm working out with her and I can see it move through her, and I was like, this is called high. I said, this what you're experiencing right now is what I would say is equivalent to what people would call as like a high. It's a euphoria. I said, and I'm getting you to do it just simply by static activation and breath work. And the look over her, just euphoria and this, and she goes, the lights, I keep seeing lights. And I go, yes, it's your lights. I'm igniting your grid. I'm igniting your light grid. And it is literally pulsating out your third eye, and you're seeing the lights. And I said, this is, believe it or not, it's actually how we are built. It's how we're meant to be all the time. And I think people ran from it or created false ways of trying to activate it. There are some really beautiful medicines out there that can activate it, that are not, I don't want to say non-invasive, but they're absolutely more organic and natural. That can bring you to a heightened sense of awareness and consciousness and experience these experiences. Now, there are other ones that aren't really beneficial, that they really mess with the chemistry of the body, or leave you easily susceptible to manipulation of outside sources. I have worked with shamans over the years, and in trusting that the shaman would have been, not, the word isn't legit, but honorable, right? And then realizing that they weren't. So it happens. It happens. I understand that in shamanic world, because I am one, that the medicine can be different. So like how I approach that woman, I am sure that, that really kind of upset her a little bit of like, I just came to stretch. You're gonna make me do these things, Well, I wasn't outside of the realms. Breathwork is yoga. The whole purpose of yoga is to breathe. So, and I know people that make you do 20 minutes of breathing activity before you even activate into a yoga practice. So it's not unheard of. It was just the environment. It didn't seem to fit. And so I broke outside of what was her comfort zone, right? And so it is okay to be of a shamanic healer and break outside of someone's comfort zone. We're supposed to do that. I've had people say things to me, and even recently, try to, attack and say things in a nature that projected harm in some way. And my heart goes out to them. I see why they communicated the way they did based off of their needs and what they wanted to occur. And when they didn't get what they wanted, but they got what their spirit needed, they did the blame and shame and guilt game, and that's okay. It's okay. I forgive them. They may not believe they need to be forgiven, and that's okay too. So I understand what that is. I had worked with a shaman that was offering me medicines, but did it in a way outside of what was in my best interest. And I learned a valuable lesson from it, so I have no attachments or angers or resentments or anything. It's more of lesson learned. But it awoke me to realizing there are certain medicines that I don't really recommend for people because they don't necessarily get you where you need to be. It's just too easy to mess with people. Or you really need to know the shaman that you're working with. They have to, you really want to know them before you invite that kind of medicine in. But as I will say consistently, is that breath work can bring you there like effortlessly into places your mind will be blown, your mind will be blown by breath work of how crazy intense it can be and how it can awaken the energetic field and heal the body. So, wow. That was a guy. It is, if you asked me where I would be in my life, I would never think here. And there comes with so much depth as well as heightened, right? I feel like I'm in the deep mud, but in the most highest of highs, and experiencing everything in between. And I am sitting in the best of my ability of non-judgment and not separating it, non-duality, that this is exactly where I'm meant to be, having the exact experience I'm meant to have. And offering the best medicine that I know how to. Truly coming outside of my comfort zones, doing videos like these. I love one-on-ones, I love groups, I love offering the medicine and environment and just feeding and nourishing people through conversations. And I am so blessed that so many people will say, I learned so much from you. Just in every class or every conversation, there's something to walk away with. And so that constantly goes, how do I offer that information to people? You know what I mean? I want to give more of that. So maybe I'll just start offering little snip videos, did you know snippets. That might be beneficial. Who knows? There's so much medicine. And it doesn't come in a bottle. Yeah. So I would love to know, this is the House of Kai. What's the House of You? How's the House of You doing, right? What's going on in the House of You? For a while I was looking at it, I was thinking of calling myself the Church of You, right? Because this is the church. This right here. This is the church. This is where we're meant to celebrate. This is where the sound and life is experienced. What's going on inside your church? What's going on inside your house? Offer me what you are able, and I will respond with the medicine that I am hearing best serve you, right? Maybe tips and tricks and little things that will support you on your journey, or maybe full diagnoses and medicines. Who knows? Who knows? Whatever the universe creates and provides, right? Whatever they tell me I'm supposed to tell you. So, I guess this really turned into a did you know video and not a card video. So maybe there'll be a card video. Oh, I love it. All right, tribe. I love you. I love you. Mwah. Peace out, y'all.